Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? No, good afternoon, everybody. How are you? All right, I do spoken word poetry, and we have this concept that this presentation and any presentation is only going to be as energetic and as enthusiastic as the audience is with the person speaking. So I'm going to try one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Yes, okay, because I need your energy on a Saturday morning at 12:20. My name is Christopher Rice Wilson. I'm the Associate Director at Alliance San Diego. We're a local nonprofit organization, as Bruna said, and one of the things we specialize in is turning out voters. We've been doing this work for about 7 years, and we've been pretty successful. We focus specifically on young voters and low propensity voters. Low propensity voters are people who vote sometimes, but not all the time, and actually vote less than 50% of the time. And we've been really successful at increasing the turnout among these voters because we are talking to them 3 to 4 times a year, not just during election time, and we're talking to them about the issues that matter in their lives. So Bruna asked me, what does open democracy mean to me? And I'm going to read it because I just don't want to miss anything. But open democracy means to me that we have a system of representation to govern our country and our residents that is inclusive of all people and responsive to the needs of the people. It means that the system or the government takes seriously the idea that we are a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, and that the government makes laws and takes actions that promote participation in our civic system of government, decision-making, and voting. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever heard on the radio a public service announcement from any government body telling people when to vote? In America. We all know when Mexican elections are happening. But we often don't even know when our elections are happening because the government spends no money advertising and promoting our elections to our people. And if they do spend money, it's spent in an area or in a medium that does not speak to the people who need to hear it. So in particular, talking about young voters, running a commercial during 60 Minutes, or Good Morning America, or Blackish is not going to turn out the 18 to 34-year-olds. Running a radio ad on Kogo is not going to get to the 18 to 24-year-olds. We have to do more to make sure that, in the very least, that young voters, people who are enthusiastic when they turn 18, there's a curve. Research was done by the Washington Post that shows that 18-year-old voters turn out at about a 30% rate because they're excited. The two things they can do at 18 is drive and vote. And so they're excited because that puts them into the adult world. But after 18, their participation drops significantly. And it doesn't start increasing again until they're 26. So we have to do more. Our government is responsible, ultimately, for ensuring that the residents and the citizens participate in our decision-making process. Now, how do we do that at Alliance San Diego? Well, we use alternative methods. We don't do commercials. We might do radio ads, but it's on the stations that young people are listening to. The urban radio stations, the pop music radio stations, and you know, places and things of that nature. We might run billboards, but it's not on the freeways where the traffic might be heaviest of people driving to work. We run them on the buses. We run them on the buses. We run them in the neighborhoods where young people are hanging out. We put ads like in the table, we used to call them table tents in college, but they're the things that sit in the middle of a restaurant where the young people are eating or getting coffee, strange that 18 to 24-year-olds drink coffee now, but they do. Thank you, Starbucks. So we try to reach people where they're at. But what we do most is we knock on their doors and we call their phones. Who in here is under 25 and does not have a cell phone? If you're under 25 and you don't have a cell phone, raise your hand. Exactly. You don't? Oh, well, I know you. You can't afford a cell phone. No, I know him, really, I do. And young people are glued to their cell phones, so we try to reach them where they're at. We knock on their door, whether it be in the dorms or whether it's at their parents' house, or for the young people fortunate enough to be living on their own, the doors where they live. We reach out to them with people who look like them, who think like them, who shop and behave like them. We reach out to them in their language. Not everyone speaks English as a first language. So we would be missing out on a huge audience if we didn't do that. We use technology. So young people, there's this idea that young people they have the strongest thumbs in the world now because they spend their life doing this, right? So we try to reach out to them via text message. We create videos that go directly to social media platforms. We run ads that are young and exciting. And I'm sorry I don't have a PowerPoint to show you some of these things. We've been working on rendering assistance to the Haitians who are seeking humanitarian aid coming through the port, the southern border port. And so I didn't have time to prepare this, but the statistics are shocking. When we reach out to them in this way, we see a huge increase in their participation. So in 2012, for example, we used these methods to reach out to young people. And in the category of 18 to 34, in 2012, we saw a 10% increase in the people we reached out to in their voting participation. Now, 2012 was a presidential election, so of course there's a bump because of that. But to see a 10 to 12% increase in 18 to 34-year-olds is a huge increase. In 2014, that increase was 5 to 7%. The increase was higher as they got older, but the minimum increase was 5%. A 5% increase in 18-year-old voting is monumental and difficult. And these increases also translate across propensity. So most 18-year-olds are new voters, and new voter participation increased by 5% in 2014 because of our efforts. Low propensity voters, which would include people 18 to 34, increased by 11 to 12% between 2012 and 2014. And in terms of where we're reaching them, most of our work is focused in districts 4, 6, and 9. And those two of those districts, District 4 and District 9, have some of the lowest voting percentages in the city. And we were able to see a 9% increase in District 4, a 10% increase in District 9, and an 11% increase in District 6. And that's huge because it's not just increasing participation generally, it's about increasing participation in the people who vote the least. And that's how we build our electorate. My time is up, but I'm sure we're going to take questions later. Thank you.